You see, life's a funny little game. People push you, break you, spit on your dreams, and expect you to stay down. They call you weak, insignificant, a joke. But here's the punchline. They didn't realize you weren't the victim. Oh no. You were just biding your time. You gave you hell, hoping you'd burn. But they forgot. The devil doesn't fear the flames. He owns them. Tonight we're not talking about revenge. No. Revenge is for the small-minded. We're talking about transformation, about rising from the ashes, smiling through the chaos, and making sure that every single person who doubted you learns the most important lesson of all. They looked at you and saw nothing special, just another person they could overlook, dismiss, or walk over without consequence. They assumed you lacked the intelligence, the strength, or the resilience to rise beyond their expectations. And that was their first mistake. The greatest weapon in your arsenal is the fact that they don't see you coming. When people underestimate you, they hand you an advantage wrapped in arrogance. They get comfortable, they stop paying attention, and they assume they've already won. That's when you strike. Easy to get caught up in the frustration of being ignored, of being treated like you don't belong. But the smartest move you can make is to turn that frustration into fuel. Work in silence. Build yourself in the shadows. Let them think you're weak, while you sharpen your mind, your skills, and your strategy. While they waste time underestimating you, you gain ground without resistance. The underdog has the element of surprise. No one prepares for the one they don't see as a threat. They laugh, they mock, and they assume they've already won. But there's a shift that happens when they realize their mistake, when they see that the one they dismissed is the one standing at the top. By the time they take you seriously, it's already too late. Pain is the catalyst that forces growth. It breaks you down, strips away illusions, and leaves you face to face with the truth of who you are. Most people run from pain, numb it, or let it defeat them. But the ones who understand its power use it as fuel. Pain is not the enemy. It is the fire that forges something stronger, something unstoppable. When everything is falling apart, when betrayal, failure, and loss consume you, that is where the real transformation begins. The fire burns away weakness, exposing the raw potential underneath. It forces you to evolve, to adapt, to become something greater than you were before. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without suffering, there is no growth. Every scar tells a story, not of defeat, but of survival. The greatest minds, the strongest leaders, the most unbreakable people have all walked through fire and emerged on the other side, not as victims, but as warriors. They didn't avoid the pain, they embraced it. They let it shape them, refine them, and turn them into something the world could no longer ignore. Most people let pain define them in the wrong way. They let it make them bitter, afraid, or weak. But pain is a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. It will test you, push you to your limits, and demand that you fight for the person you are meant to become. The fire will rage, it will consume, but if you let it. Most people crave attention. They want validation, recognition, and approval. They announce their plans, expose their emotions, and let the world in on every move they make. But the ones who truly understand power know that silence is the greatest weapon. The less people know about your intentions, the less they can interfere. The less they see your progress, the more they assume you have none. And that assumption is your advantage. In a world where everyone is loud, the quiet ones become the most dangerous. Moving in silence allows you to observe without being observed, to plan without opposition, to strike without warning. When people can't predict your next step, they can't prepare for it. That's why those who speak less are often feared more, because mystery creates uncertainty, and uncertainty breeds respect. Talking about your ambitions doesn't make them real. It only invites opinions, doubts, and distractions. When you reveal too much, you give others the chance to sabotage your progress, even unintentionally. But when you keep your moves hidden, no one can stop what they don't see coming. Silence lets you build without interference. It allows you to grow without resistance. Every major victory is won in the shadows before it is revealed in the light. The most powerful transformations happen when no one is watching. The world doesn't need to know the struggles you endure, the sacrifices you make, or the work you put in behind closed doors. Let them think you're inactive. Let them believe you've disappeared. Because when the time comes for you to step forward, they won't just see a person. They'll see a force they never expected. Revenge is emotional, impulsive, and temporary. It may feel satisfying in the moment, but it does nothing to change your circumstances. It keeps you focused on the past, trapped in a cycle of resentment and reaction. Those who seek revenge waste energy trying to prove a point to people who never mattered in the first place. True power isn't found in getting even. It's found in rising so high that those who wronged you become irrelevant. Success is the ultimate response. When you elevate yourself beyond their reach, when you build a life so strong, so fulfilling that their words and actions no longer affect you, that is real dominance. Instead of lowering yourself to their level, you make them watch as you surpass every expectation, every limitation, every doubt they placed on you. And there is nothing more painful for those who tried to break you than seeing you thrive. People who seek revenge stay chained to the ones who hurt them. Their thoughts, their time, their energy remain fixated on proving something to someone else. But those who focus on success move differently. They redirect that energy into building, growing, and becoming. They understand that nothing unsettles an enemy more than seeing you unbothered, unstoppable, and untouchable. Success is permanent. It leaves a legacy that no act of revenge ever could. It forces those who doubted you to confront their own insignificance. The best part is that, in the end, they realize they never had control over you. The moment you stop seeking validation, stop reacting, and start creating a future so powerful that they are forced to witness it, that is when you truly win. Emotions are powerful, but if they control you, they become your greatest weakness. The world watches, waiting for a crack in your armor, a moment of vulnerability they can exploit. People push you, test you, and provoke reactions to see if they can shake you. The moment you lose control, you hand them the advantage. But when you master your emotions, you become untouchable. Anger, frustration, sadness, these feelings are natural, but they should never dictate your actions. When you react out of emotion, you make decisions you regret, say things you can't take back, and play into the hands of those who want to see you fall. Strength isn't about suppressing what you feel. It's about knowing when and how to express it. The strongest people are not those who never feel pain, but those who refuse to let pain define their actions. Silence is more powerful than outbursts. A calm mind wins battles before they even begin. When they expect you to break and instead you remain composed, you shift the power dynamic. Their words lose meaning. Their attempts to bring you down fail. Control isn't about pretending nothing affects you. It's about ensuring nothing controls you. Those who cannot control their emotions are predictable. They are easily manipulated, easily provoked, and easily defeated. But those who master the art of restraint hold the true power. They know that patience is a weapon, that timing is everything, and that emotional discipline is what separates the ordinary from the unstoppable. The moment you decide that no one has the power to break you, you become a force they can neither understand nor overcome. Predictability is a weakness. When people can anticipate your next move, they can prepare for it, block it, or manipulate it to their advantage. Those who are easy to read are easy to control. But when you become unpredictable, you create uncertainty. And uncertainty breeds fear, respect, and power. Most people live in patterns. They react the same way, follow the same routines, and let emotions dictate their responses. This makes them easy to manipulate. But those who embrace unpredictability operate on a different level. They move in silence, change strategies when least expected, and keep their enemies guessing. When people can't pin down your motives, they don't know whether to challenge you or retreat. That hesitation is where your power lies. Chaos is not about destruction, it's about control. It forces people out of their comfort zones, makes them uncomfortable, and disrupts their expectations. When you learn to thrive in chaos, nothing rattles you. While others panic and make mistakes, you remain composed, adapting, shifting, and staying 3 steps ahead. The ability to navigate uncertainty makes you unstoppable because no situation catches you off guard. Never let people think they have you figured out. One day, be silent. The next, make a move they never saw coming. Keep them wondering, keep them second guessing, keep them chasing a version of you that no longer exists. When you become unpredictable, no one can prepare for your next move, no one can box you in, and no one can stop you from becoming exactly who you were meant to be. Rejection feels personal, but it isn't. It's a redirection, a shift, a course correction towards something greater. Most people see rejection as an ending, a failure, proof that they weren't good enough. But those who understand its purpose know that rejection is never the final chapter. It's just a signpost pointing them in a new direction. Every setback, every closed door, every no is a test of resilience. It forces you to reassess, to refine, to get better. The greatest success stories are built on rejection. The people who rise the highest are not the ones who never failed, but the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They didn't stop, they didn't break, they adapted. And in doing so, they found a path they never would have seen had they stayed stuck in what wasn't meant for them. Rejection removes what isn't aligned with your destiny. It clears out distractions, illusions, and dead ends. Instead of seeing it as a loss, see it as a filter. It weeds out the wrong opportunities, the wrong people, the wrong situations, so you don't waste time chasing what was never going to serve you. Most people fear rejection because they attach their worth to it. But rejection isn't a reflection of who you are, it's a push toward who you're meant to become. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is simple. One group takes rejection as defeat, the other uses it as fuel. Every rejection carries a lesson, a hidden advantage, a hidden door that only those with the right perspective will ever find. Patience is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. Most people want immediate results, quick wins, instant success. They rush, they force, they react. And in their impatience, they make mistakes, miss opportunities, and destroy what could have been great. Those who understand power know that timing is everything. The right move at the wrong time is still the wrong move. Every successful person, every empire, every victory was built on timing. Knowing when to act, when to wait, when to strike. This is what separates those who win from those who fail. The impatient are predictable. They panic under pressure, expose their plans too soon, and react emotionally. The patient, however, remain in control. They observe, they plan, they prepare. While others waste energy chasing shortcuts, they build a foundation that cannot be shaken. Patience is not inaction, it is strategy. It is understanding that not every battle needs to be fought. Not every opportunity needs to be taken. And not every challenge needs an immediate response. It is knowing that growth takes time, that true power is not in speed, but in precision. Those who master patience do not fear delays, setbacks, or obstacles. They use them, they adapt, they adjust. And when the time is right, they execute flawlessly. The world belongs to those who can wait without losing focus, those who understand that patience is not about standing still, but about moving with purpose. The strongest people are not the ones who rush ahead blindly, but the ones who wait for the perfect moment and strike when no one expects it. The narrative you live by shapes your reality. The stories you tell yourself, the way you perceive your struggles and triumphs determine how you move through the world. People who view themselves as victims are constantly defined by their circumstances. They are prisoners of the past, shackled by the stories of what has been done to them. But those who rewrite their narrative refuse to be defined by their pain. They take ownership of their journey, turning hardship into fuel for their success. Every challenge, every obstacle, every setback is a chance to reshape the story. The victim sees the world as something happening to them, while the legend sees it as something happening for them. Legends don't let life dictate their path. They carve their own. They take the hardships they've faced and turn them into stepping stones, not burdens. Rewriting your narrative means shifting your perspective. It means no longer allowing the actions of others or the circumstances of your life to determine who you are. You stop seeing yourself as the victim of your past and start seeing yourself as the hero of your story. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, you focus on what you've gained. Instead of looking at your failures as defeats, you look at them as lessons, as necessary steps on the way to greatness. A legend is not someone who has had an easy life. A legend is someone who has faced adversity, who has been knocked down time and time again and still chooses to rise. A victim is passive. A legend is active, taking control of their destiny and shaping it with every decision they make. When you rewrite your narrative, you become unstoppable, transforming your pain into power and your story into a legacy. When life is throwing everything at you, chaos, challenges, and constant pressure, there's a power in maintaining your composure. Most people break under stress, showing their fear, frustration, or exhaustion for all to see. But when you choose to smile, when you face the storm with a calm, steady presence, you not only disarm the situation, but you also send a message that nothing can touch you. A smile in the midst of hardship is an unspoken declaration of strength. It confuses the enemy, leaves them uncertain, and rattles those who thought they could break you. They expect you to crumble, but when you stand tall and keep your peace, you show them something they fear: resilience. You show them that no matter how intense the storm, it cannot take away your power. The moment you smile through it, the storm loses its control over you. In a world that's constantly trying to break you, trying to make you bend, your greatest power lies in how you respond. They may try to push you, drag you down, and tear you apart, but the key to your victory is knowing that you are not defined by their actions, their words, or their judgments. You are the one who holds the pen to your own story. Embrace the chaos. Let pain transform you. Use silence as your strength and success as your true payback. Master the art of patience, knowing that timing will always be your ally. And through it all, remember that you are not a victim. You are the legend in the making. The world can throw whatever it wants at you, but when you smile through the storm, nothing will ever scare you again. Your power is in your response, and when you respond with purpose, nothing can stop you from becoming who you were always meant to be.